Yo, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about travel and specifically how you can save for travel and what you can be doing right now or start doing right now to help you save for travel and to enable you to travel in the near future. Let's jump straight in. Okay, first things first, go down below, hit subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 by the end of the year and it would be so helpful if you can help me reach that target. Come on, I don't get anything, it's just a personal goal of mine. I want to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you aren't already, please go down below and subscribe. Okay, so as I say, we're talking about travel and how you can save for travel. So this video is about money. Before we jump in, I do need to say I'm not an accountant, I'm not a financial advisor, nothing like that. These are just tips and experiences from my own life that have enabled me to save up to go travelling. I went travelling around Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand for 6 months total, and I've been on multiple trips since then and before then. And this is just all stuff that I've used and it's helped me out. So take this with a pinch of salt, adapt it and change it to how it suits you. But these are some tips that will help you save for travel and especially that will help you save right now in the current climate. And what I mean by current climate is the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic right now and no one can travel. We can't really travel. We can go some places, like I've been on a few trips to Germany. Travel corridors are opening again and we are starting to be able to travel to certain countries, but the coronavirus is still a very real thing. So the travel industry is still massively subpar of what we were able to do. Okay, so even though we can't travel at the moment, what we can be doing is saving and planning. We're going to start with planning one first. So what I actually did, and it might not be the same for everyone, it might not work for everyone, but I actually made a spreadsheet and planned out everywhere I was going to go over my 6 months of travels, like specific places and towns and stuff. I then worked out using a few different websites that I'll link all these below, but I used Hostelworld, Booking.com, a website called Budget Your Trip, and Rome to Rio. And they're the 4 main websites that I used to plan my trip and figure out roughly how much I was going to be spending in each location. Now doing this enabled me not only when I was there that I could see exactly if I'm going over or above budget for each place. If I was going under budget, I could then afford like a nice meal out or a nice hotel in the next place, etc, etc. But it also gave me a very clear goal of what I was aiming for to save before I went. So I knew exactly, okay, so to do 3 months in Asia, I need X amount of money. That's the goal. So planning your trip in advance, and especially at the moment when we can't travel, we can use our time to be planning out these trips. You don't have to go in as depth and detail as I went in with my one. That's just my personal preference that I wanted to plan it that much. But start planning your trips, figure out where you want to go, how long you want to go for, start using Pinterest and Google and just find blog posts and stuff like that and figure out roughly how much money you need for that trip. And then from that way you can start setting a goal that you want this amount of money before you go. So once you've planned your trip and you've got a rough idea of how much you're going to need to complete your trip, now's the point where you then need to say, when are you going to go? So when exactly will it be feasible for you to be able to afford to go on these travels? So you're going to Asia for 3 months and you need £4,000 saved for everything. That's flights, that's everything. So let's say it's £4,000 and you want to go in a year's time. So 12 months, £4,000 divided by 12. I really should be able to do that. So that means you need to be saving £333 a month for the next 12 months so that you can afford to go travelling. Extra bonus tip here, say it's free, I need to save up £333 a month, save £350, save £400. Always when you're planning it, always overestimate how much you're going to spend. And when you're setting this savings goal per month, try and bump it up that little bit so you've just got a bit of redundancy money in your back pocket. Because that extra, so what's that? That's an extra... So that's an extra £17 a month, times that by 12, that's an extra 200 quid, which enables you to have a nicer hotel, it enables you to have nicer meals out, it enables you to have some cool activities while you're out there. Always try and save a little bit extra. That's your bonus tip. Okay, so moving away from the planning and saving for the trip, how can you start saving that money now? Something that really helped me, and I'd highly advise it if you're planning on going traveling or if there's any goal that you want to save up for, I'd highly advise doing this. Just create a separate pot. Like most banks will allow you to create a pot or a separate savings account free of charge. They usually really low interest rates, but I don't know much about the interest rates and stuff, but it's usually quite low. But it's just basically just another pot that you can put some money in. That way you can put X amount of money in there and it's out of your current account. It's not there for you to spend, it's just aside away for traveling. Also, as the months go by, it's really satisfying seeing that pot go up. Also, if you do it in like the same amount per month, it's really nice seeing it go up month by month. And when you hit some milestones, when you hit like your first 1,000, your first or 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever it is, it's really, really nice seeing that money go up. So And it's also encouraging. It's like, yes, I'm saving now. I'm going to go traveling. I'm going to do that goal. So I'd highly recommend opening up a separate savings account specifically for your traveling fund and then putting money into there. On the note of that savings account, I'd also highly advise figuring out how much you can put in there each month. So say it's £100, I can comfortably 100% put in £100 into that pot every month. Payday, £100 go into the pot. Don't wait until the end of the month and see what else you've got left over, and then that can go into savings. Put some money aside straight away. £100, that's now gone, I can't spend it, it's in savings pot. And if you get to the end of the month and you've got an extra £100 still in your account, pop that in there as well, or however you want to do it. But I'd highly advise saving before spending when you're aiming for a goal. But do this within reason. Make sure you're comfortable, make sure you can still live, make sure it's not going to affect you in any way. But yeah, save before spend. Okay, so I know this one's a bitter pill to swallow, but do you need to be eating out 3 times a week? Do you need 4 Nando's in a month? Do you need to be going to the pub and spending £100 every weekend? Probably not. Basically, my point is, look at where you're spending money unnecessarily and cut it down. Put that money into savings. So an idea that you could do is, say you've been invited out to go to Nando's this evening, and a normal Nando's with all the halloumi will cost you £20. But you decide, actually, you know what, I'm going to save that money, I'm not going to do it. Pop that £20 straight into the pot, because you would have, if you weren't saving, you would have spent it anyway, so you know you can live comfortably without it. So just put it in the pot instead, and a little, yeah, go on, I'll have a Nando's when I'm out travelling. This is also where something that I call the travel mindset comes into play. Now, for me, the travel mindset is looking at everything and almost needing to justify whether or not you spend it. Now, this can go over the top and you can get a bit too intense with this, but it's very helpful to look at everything. Like, I still do it to this day. I went to Bali like almost 2 years ago now. When was I in Bali? Oh, a year and 11 months ago. Next month I would have been in Bali 2 years ago. But yeah, I was in Bali 2 years ago, and I still will look at some things and be like, do I need to spend that? Because that's a week's accommodation in Bali. Like, I still do it, and it's ridiculous, but it helps me save money. It helps me not unnecessarily spend. So, and that's what I call the travel mindset, is looking at everything where you don't need to be spending that money, and thinking what that could get you if you're traveling. So there's a really nice pair of shoes, but you actually want to go to Thailand. That could be your money to go see the Thailand elephant jungle camps and stuff like that. Like, looking at everything in this way really helps you save and makes you almost feel better about not spending that money. Okay, my last point goes full circle back round to the planning section of this. So when you're planning it, figure out what you need. There's hundreds of packing lists. In fact, I've actually got a couple on my channel. I'll put links in the description and cards above of what people take traveling, what they advise taking traveling, be it camera kit, clothing, toiletries, everything like that. There's hundreds and thousands of these online helping you plan what you're going to take traveling. Figure out what you're going to take and figure out what you need. Like, I would highly advise not really spending much on clothes, because you'll probably buy some clothes out there. Just take what you've got already, maybe go get some cheap ones. But when it comes to like a backpack, you want an international travel adapter, you want a portable charger, like whatever these things are that you like, I want that or I need that for travel. Figure them out early, and then when it comes to special occasions like Christmas and your birthday, ask for them. Ask for them from family and friends. If people are like, "Oh, I want to get you a present for Christmas. What should I get you?" Oh, how about this Anker 20,000 watt portable charger, because I'm going to need that when I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere. Stuff like this. Or even ask for money, or Amazon vouchers. Oh, Amazon vouchers are fantastic, because the amount of stuff I just ordered through Amazon, and yes. So ask for these things, or ask for contribution towards these things that are going to enable you to go travelling. And it also means you haven't got to spend money or as much money on buying them yourselves, and then that money can go into the travel pot. You see it? We're all going back to that travel pot. Everything, any money we're not spending is going into that travel pot, and it's going to build and build and build and build. And my last tip for you guys is to exceed the travel pot. So you want to get £4,000 into that travel pot, you're 6 months away and you realise, actually I'm probably going to hit this in the next couple of months. Keep going. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I've got 4,000 now, that's fine. I'm now just going to chill around until I go travelling and spend the money, blah, blah, blah. Keep going. Oversave. There will be expenses that you do not expect. Trust me. There will always be expenses you don't expect. Oversave make sure you've got more than enough when you go. And also that means when you're out there and spontaneous things come up, like you're in an island in the Philippines at a surf camp. I really want to do that. Yeah, you know what? I've saved up a bit more money. I can afford to do this surf camp or whatever it is. I'm using really random examples in this video, but whatever it is, just over save, because you will end up spending it out there because you want to make the most of your time out there. And honestly my biggest fear is going traveling like this, getting to and being like, I haven't got enough money for that, because I know myself and I'll be like, why did you buy 24 pots of halloumi on that one Nando's night? I've never bought 24 pots of halloumi in that Nando's, but still. So yeah, exceed, push to get more than what you need, and over budget, over plan. Okay, that is it. This has turned out to be a longer video than I expected it to be, but I really hope you found it helpful. These are all stuff that really helped me save a travel and continue to help me save a travel. So if you did find it helpful, please drop a thumbs up down below. It does massively help out. Subscribe to see more of the content, all the other stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to take the shot, and if you are planning on going traveling, have so much fun, because it's the best thing you'll ever do.